my question would be, how do narcissists fit into this picture? And I'm not asking this as a let's make an exception, like, yeah, it's okay with me to love everybody, but except narcissist. I'm just wondering more about the how, or
Uh,
because it's not easy.
well, we just need to see it as that everybody's looking for happiness. Everyone. Like there's narcissistic things we've all done because we wanted to be happy.
Mhm.
Narcissists just tend to have an addiction to doing it in a particular way that we don't prefer, which is usually in a self-absorbed way, right?
Yeah.
But if we see it, every narcissism is a spectrum. Every decision that we've ever made to find happiness in the world is a narcissistic decision. It's just typically we do them in ways that are more socially acceptable. And narcissists make decisions to find happiness in less socially acceptable ways. It's just a stronger degree of a desire for happiness, a more vigorous degree, a more convoluted a way of trying to find happiness. When we see someone who's, let's just say, a typical narcissist is self-absorbed and arrogant, the self-absorbedness is coming from a lack of someone who's arrogant or egotistical, right? Someone's very egotistical. What that means is that their sense of self is so diminished, is so fleeting, is so fragile, is so incomplete, is so vulnerable and afraid that it tries to do things that amplify and protect that sense of self. You see, that's why we call them arrogant or egotistical. They are people who, instead of trying to do more socially acceptable things to find happiness, they take the approach of, I will make myself look bigger to then fulfill the lack of fulfillment that I feel within myself. You see, they do like a character trait. Happiness is, I have a lot of money, I have this, I have that, look at what I have, these are the things I have. Or what do you not have? You don't have these things. Well, that's a shame. I do. I must be better than you, I must be bigger than you. That's, you see what I mean? That's what arrogance is. I am beyond you, so therefore I feel I have my place in the world now. I am happy. I'm happy with what I am because I'm better than you. You see, that's obviously a very convoluted way of finding happiness, but that's what an arrogant or a narcissistic person will do. Think of it like this: if a narcissist was never given the opportunity to be what they are, I'm not saying this is other people's fault. What I'm saying is the reason that narcissists latch on um, to such kind people is also because there's a level of people who are around narcissists. They tolerate the narcissistic behavior because of their desire for happiness. You see, it works both ways. That's why narcissists will tend to prey on people who are less able to stand up to them. That's how they're able to be behaving in that kind of way. You see, if you took a narcissist to another 10 narcissists, they'd never survive. They'd kill each other, you see. They you lock them in a room for a couple of months, they'd all end up dead. So you can't. This is why narcissists have to be around people who are too afraid. And this is not with all due respect. This is natural. Anyone would do the same. That are too afraid to kind of stand up to them because of they want to protect their happiness. You see, if I say this, then this might do that, and it creates this perfect harmony. This is why um, people end up with narcissists in that way. So we have to see that a narcissist's behavior, we can't. What I'm trying to say is we can't judge it as this is inherently the wrongest way ever. You see, we can't have pedestals of my search for happiness was more noble than this search for happiness. We can't have a spectrum on searches for happiness. The narcissist's approach to happiness is no more noble than the spiritual person's search for happiness. They are just convoluted attempts to try and find happiness, yes, a narcissist attempt is definitely way more convoluted. But this is where we have to learn and embrace that compassion.
Mhm.
And compassion doesn't always look like letting people do what they want. You love them on the inside, you take right action on the outside. If you truly love someone on the inside, if you when I say love someone, I don't mean to have this romantic love that you would have in a new relationship. That's not the definition of love that I'm describing. Think of it like this: it's to not lock them out of your heart. It's to not throw them out of your heart. It's to not tolerate the behaviors on the relative level, but to love them with the innocence that they are. You share the same innocence. We all do.
Yeah.
And that's a harsh reality for some people because it means all the murderers, the rapists, the people who do harm, we share the same innocence of them. For the separate self, that feels disgusting. But that's the thing. The disgust the separate self feels, the hatred, the condemnment, perpetuates the hatred and condemnment. This is why we have to take a step to recognize that the most efficient path that is in alignment with nature is to fully love and embrace, because without that, we swim in the same waters as the narcissists and the criminals, you see? So
Yeah.
the true action can only be taken from the perspective of love. That's the only way true action can be taken. Yes, it could look like putting someone in jail, but uh, anything done from love is never going to perpetuate the problem. You see what I mean? Which is why it's one of the highest skills to be able to love someone unconditionally, yet still have relative responsibility and take action accordingly to that. You see? You don't need to love them as a person because there's no person to love. What I'm sharing is to love them for what they actually are.
Mm.
What they actually are is not a person. What
Yeah.
they actually are is complete innocence. Complete innocence is inside. It's not really inside, but let's just imagine complete innocence is inside their head trying to get out, and it has no fucking clue. It has no idea, and it is just doing whatever resources it has to try and express its innocence. And depending on the individual resources that that character has, will dictate, therefore, what that unconscious habit behavior will be in order to find happiness. Just like all of us, it's just in that body mind, the innocence is maybe more clouded. We never really know why someone is doing something, but all we do know is that they just want to be safe. They ultimately, on an ultimate level, they just want to be loved. Thank you all for watching this video. I have a retreat. It's happening at the end of the year, the 1st to the 7th of December, 2025. If you'd like to join, the link is in the description. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Take care, guys.